I want you to picture this. An enormous throne room. Gold and silver and onyx laid floors. Every nation under heaven, row upon row upon row of people. Jesus sitting in his throne, dressed in a long, flowing, bejeweled robe. The same Jesus who a couple of chapters ago, Matthew says, had no place to lay his head. And then, out of the deafening silence, he speaks. Come, O blessed of my Father. Inherit the kingdom. I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. Now, folks, let's be careful that Jesus has a special affinity for the lost and the disenfranchised and the poor is clear, but that's not what this text is about. This text says something even more radical than that. It says that the Jesus not only cares for the least of these, but has become the least of these. The King of Kings and Lord of Lords is more apt to be found in a soup kitchen than a throne room. You want to find Jesus? Go to a prison or a rehab center or a psych unit. Because as you do it to one of the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you do it to me. This past Sunday afternoon, a circle of friends gathered here at the Lutheran Church of the Resurrection. Mentally and psychologically handicapped folks and their caregivers and members of this congregation. They gathered to make Christmas cards, 70 plus of them, and Christmas wreaths to give to the right into the community homes. I am told by somebody who was there that the relationships in that room were so profound that the differences in the psychological makeup of the people started to fade away. Love has a way of doing that to you. As you do it to one of the least of these, you do it to me. Sunday school kids recently have been collecting food for Must. You saw it. They collected $134.18. From that money, 204 cans were connected. And as they were being loaded into the car to take to Must, a member of the congregation stopped by, noticed what was going on, and said, I'll match that gift. 446 cans going to the least of these. There's a postscript. After service this morning, a member of our congregation came out, looked me square in the face, and said, Pastor, I want to match the match. At Madison Hills and Grand Villas apartment complexes, at-risk kids are being offered a safe haven Tuesday and Thursday afternoons through a social ministry aftercare program called Your Place Ministries. Kids named Martinez and Genesis and Brian are being cared for by people named George and Vonda and Dan. And the glory of it all, as they're caring for one another, they are becoming a man named Jesus to each other. as you do it to the least of these. There is a tribe in Guatemala that calls themselves La Israel. They don't have much. Now they have less, because a flood came along and ruined their crops. Not only the food that they were about to eat, but the seed crop for next year, and called into question their ability to pay for the land on which they lived. From this congregation, through not much publicity at all, $2,500 has been raised. Every single dime going to La Israel. Somebody came up after me as a postscript at the first service and handed me a $100 bill. Make it 26. As you do it to the least of these. Folks, today is Christ the King Sunday. And out of the silence, he speaks again. Come, O blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom. Because I was hungry and you gave me food. Thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. Folks, do you really want to have a relationship with Jesus Christ? I mean, do you really want Jesus to make a difference in your lives? Then join that circle of friends. Learn more about Must Ministries. Be a part of Your Place Ministries. Go on a Guatemalan mission trip. There, we will rub shoulders with the least of these. And there, we will meet the one whose throne room is a prison and a psych unit and a rehab center. And there, we will learn the center heart of the gospel. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing.